Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 2021 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new readings, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. That person is not me. I will not be soliciting you for anything. Do not be scammed. All right, with that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels, fantastic. And spirit guides, show me clearly. And now let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This one, okay. We start off here with abundance. This is the root chakra. Then we have angels and masters, angels and spirit guides, angels and the divine. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above the crown. And then we have holistic health, one of my favorite ones, which is, again, the root chakra. I really like that. This is all about taking care of yourself. Yeah, taking care of you, making sure that you're okay. And we need to do that more often. We need to check in with ourselves more often. And that's really comforting. That's really cozy. I like the way that feels. Okay, so the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, time frame June 21st to July 22nd. The Seven of Wands. The Emperor, which is Aries energy, March 21st to April 19th. The Fool. Your inner self. You only have one minor arcana card here. The rest are all heavy-hitting major arcana. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on here. The Queen of Swords, that's your energy shining through. You're represented by Justice in the major arcana and by the Swords in the minor arcana. So that's beautiful. You then have the Strength, which is Leo energy. Time frame July 23rd to August 22nd. Cancer time frame actually goes straight into Leo time frame. So that's nice. You have the Knight of Cups, amplifying that Cancer energy. You have the Queen of Wands, which is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You then have the Five of Cups, the Page of Pentacles. So this time is very much going to be a learning time for you because the full moon is in Virgo, and actually the full moon, it's on the 27th of February, is in Virgo. And then the full moon on the 28th of March will also be in Virgo. So this is going to be a real learning time for you, Libra. We have the Six of Swords and the Ace of Cups, which is a gift that you're absolutely taking during this time, but you're having a lot of negativities, a lot of anxieties, depressions, doubts, fears. They're bubbling to the surface and then being washed away. So this is a time to really embrace the power of your heart. And your heart during this time is very much being a warrior. Okay, so let's look at your chakra self during this time. So we're really focusing on the roots of you. And then your angels and the masters of the universe, of creation, divinity, is wrapping their wings around you, cupping you in their hands, right? And holding you in this safe and sacred spot. So that's really quite cool. So we start off with abundance. This is what we're called to live. We're called to live an abundant life. It doesn't mean a life where we all have mansions and, fancy cars. It's a life where we feel at peace within our souls, within ourselves, where there's a love and a beauty and a connection with life. And that's what this abundance is. And you're going to be finding during this time that you're tested. You're tested a bit like, what does abundance mean for you? How do you want to move forward? Where are you headed? What do you desire? That abundance is being called forward. And that sense of abundance, that definition, that individual definition of abundance, we're going to be seeing that coming up more and more because we have this societal idea of abundance. And even we have, like, if you aren't fitting in like this way, we can be like, oh, well, this is what abundance looks for this group or that group or that group. And we never say, well, what does abundance look like for me? Instead of looking how people already predefined it. So it's really taking into account what abundance looks like for you, your happiness, your prosperity, your bounty. It leads you to being protected. It leads you to this healing energy. It leads you to this spiritual protection coming around you, kind of fastening in around you. I see it like a seatbelt. It's like you're going to go on this roller coaster ride, so you're going to be buckled up. And that's what life is, isn't it? It's a roller coaster ride. And there's a sense of love, of peace, of harmony, of connection, being such a powerful part of you. It then leads you to holistic health. It leads you to the sense of needing to be, first and foremost, your holistic self, truthful to yourself, caring of yourself. And it also leads you to sitting there and saying, what does my body need? What does my body desire? How can I move forward? And this is a very powerful thing to do, to sit there and say, what foods are making me feel good? What foods are making me feel like garbage? What's going on with my body? We don't take the time to check in. We want quick fixes. And a lot of times it takes a really long time for our body to get messed up, stressed out, the aches, the pains to come, the sleeping habits to be completely, thrown by the wayside. And it also takes a long time to heal that. So we want the quick fix, but a lot of times if we want that good, steady fix, it's going to take time. And it doesn't mean you have to live in pain, but it means that it takes time to see the root of the problem, to, embrace different solutions. So that's really where the focus is here. It's the time that we're putting in, it's the energy that we're putting in, and it's the health that's coming forward. And this leads us to this moon being a real sense of strength and of power, but also of discernment. So this full moon, okay, it has us always surrendering to the divine, always that reminder of the light, the beauty, the power that is moving us forward. But it's also the most discriminating of all the moons, which I know doesn't sound like a good thing. And you might think, ooh, that's bad. But discriminating about the energy that you let in, about the way that you move forward. It's being discerning. It's really sitting there and saying, my time matters. I matter. I'm not going to be, fooling around with the stupidity of it all. What is important to me? And it leads us to saying, I'm good enough. And I always found that so terribly patronizing when I first read these cards. I was like, I'm good enough. How rude. And, I was listening to somebody say, you're enough. And I was looking at this person. They were a celebrity. And I thought, how rude. If you were in the position that so many people are in, you would sit there and think, oh my God, how did I fall from grace so hard? And that's not what it's saying at all. It's not putting preconceived notions on the being good enough. It is sitting there and saying, where I am right now, what I am discovering about myself, how I am moving forward, that is enough. That is enough for me. There is power here. There is beauty here within me. There is purpose and there is dedication. And so here, when we have this discriminating moon around us, it's being very discerning about the energy that we let in. It's sitting there, and we have this tendency during this time to say, I'm right, you're wrong, you're welcome, type of thing. The problem is that everybody has this attitude. Everybody has this attitude of, I know what's right, I know what needs to be done, just follow my lead, type of thing. And it makes it very annoying. It does. It makes it an annoying place to be. But the helpfulness that we all feel during this time, where I can show you the way, just do it like I do it, like step where I step. It's kind of like seeing a line of wolves, right? And wolves, they step into the other wolves' feet, footprints as they walk. So they walk on the most secure path that they can. And that's what we want here. So we're all really trying to help each other. We're just doing it in a little bit overly aggressive way. And so here it's to be mindful of that aspect of it. It's also to be mindful of the fact that we're not going to be as understood as we want to be. We have really good intentions, we have really good ideas, but there's going to be a difficulty at times to have our points come across and to be understood the way that we want to. And that, again, links to the fact that everybody has their preconceived notions. Everybody sits there and thinks, oh, it's going to be just like this. And it's not. And this is a time where our harmony and our balance feels out of balance, where we feel out of balance with the bigger picture that we've had and the way that we were moving forward. And it has us questioning a lot. But what's also really cool is that this is a very optimistic moon. This is a moon where you sit there and you think, I can do anything. Like, I can really get everything all figured out. Now, if you have Virgo or Pisces in your sign, in your natal chart, this is going to be a time where that energy is affected the most from this moon. So those personality traits start to come out even more during this time. Now, for the earth sign energies, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, these are all favored by regeneration and more efficiency during this moon. So you're going to see the power around, if you have earth sign energies in your natal chart, you're going to see those energies revitalized. Okay, there's renewed focus within them, and they become more efficient within your day-to-day life, which can be a good thing, can be a little bit of a frustrating thing. It depends on where they show up within your natal chart. Now, as you're moving forward, there's a strong sense of nostalgia around this moon. You have a tendency to look at things and think, wow, they were better when. And we have to be really mindful of this nostalgia coming forward. And it's also the nostalgia, and then it's dreaming of better times. It's sitting there and projecting into the future. It's going to be everything that keeps us from settling into the now and really embracing the present. So here, that's going to be so important to really look at, understand that there's going to be this pull towards the past and towards the future. And the past, that's a pain bubble. What did Eckhart Tolle say? That our past is pain, and we stay in our past, and it is pain. In our future, that is delusion, because we don't know what's going to happen. We have to be present right here, right now. And that's where power comes. And that's going to be a really important part of this moon, is to stay within the power of the now, stay within the power of your present. And one of the ways that I've found to do this is to practice the art of breathing through your nose. And I don't know why it is that this really brings you into the present, but it does. And I have links down below in the description box of, of the power of the breath. So if we just take a moment to just breathe through our nose, we close our mouths. If you can't, then don't, of course. And if you just close your mouth and breathe through your nose and just focus on the breath, focus on the quiet. There's something so soothing about it. So just be in the present with your body. It calms the mind in an amazing way. And with that, if you use this, it helps bring forward the balance. It helps bring you into the present. And then we have the new moon on the 13th of March, which is, of course, a new start is coming. And knowing that you are walking into new beginnings. Now, what is really interesting about this time is the same thing that we have to learn for the full moon is brought forward with this new moon. The new moon is kind of testing us. It's saying, be careful. You already have preconceived notions, and you're going to sit there and say, I have the answers. I'm seeking out exactly what I believe instead of the truth that I am discovering. I'm not really going to feel comfortable being pushed, being tested. But during these times, for the new starts to really come forward, those testings, those pushes are going to be a really powerful part of you. And then this brings you to the new moon in Pisces, where it says meditate and contemplate. Be in the present. Okay? There's a strong connection, of course, with water here, and you have that coming up within your heart with the Knight of Hearts and the Ace of Cups. But there's this strong connection to seeing what it is that you truly desire, to quieting your world, focusing on what's important to you, and opening up that door, seeing that balance within you coming forward. And of course, on the 28th of March, we have the full moon once again being in Virgo. Now, this moves us to the spirit animals, and the spirit animal of February, which I know we're only in for like a blink of the eye, but it's important to know that the energy that has been watching over us, or it can be the energy for which we have to meditate on during this time or had to meditate on, is the otter spirit, which says you're never alone, which means that your angels and your spirit guides are always with you. There's this connection that always brings you back to the divine. And you have the otters here making this heart, one otter here, one otter there. But what you're also going to see is that there is a power in you if you stop. If you stop swimming against the current, if you stop fighting, if you stop saying, I'm going to figure everything out, and you kind of let things go with the flow. You let yourself embrace your understanding. You let yourself, go with the current. Stop swimming against the current and let yourself ride the water. See where the emotions take you. See where your love takes you. See how you are provided for. And this leads you to embracing joy. Now, this isn't saying do anything like, crazy, but this is saying start listening to your heart and start going along with the emotional power of the heart. This brings us unity of self. Brings us unity to the divine. And this brings us an awareness of our subconscious that really does open up the door. And now in March, it gets us ready for these beautiful spirit animals of the whale and the wolf. And the whale spirit says, trust in the great mysteries. The wolf says, turn knowledge into wisdom. And that's what you're doing during this time. You're trusting in the greater mysteries. You're sitting there and you're saying, there is a plan. I don't know the plan, and we wouldn't understand it if we knew it. But there is a path forward. And the whale is also a symbol for the record keeper of the earth. So the whale is the spirit animal of the record keeper of the earth. Now that's extraordinary. So during this time, we're having the consciousness of the earth watch over us. Now, whether you believe that in abstraction, whether you believe it to be more, finite, like more solid, that's completely up to you. But what you're going to see here is that you're going to be really drawn to the vibrations of things, listening to your inner voice, connecting with the power of your emotions, opening up the doors to your vibrational energy, and seeing yourself rise, seeing yourself saying, what is my truth? What is my power? Where do I need to be? How do I excel? How do I rise? How do I take my vibrational energy from being base to being extraordinary? And if you've stumbled across this channel, if you're here, you're already on that journey and it's already an exquisite part of you. So you're already rising. This is the time to kind of like listen to the whale songs. Maybe quite literally listen to the whale songs, Libra. But also it's to listen to the vibrational song within you. It brings us to the wolf. Knowledge turns into wisdom. Knowledge is what we accumulate because we live. Wisdom is what we have. Knowledge is what we accumulate because we live, right? We become knowledgeable about things. Wisdom comes from the essence of that knowledge, comes from the heart of that knowledge, comes from that truth. And this is a time where we have heightened intellect, right? Where we're deeply connected to our pack, to what's important to us, to what we desire, and we're longing for freedom of soul, of understanding, of connection. There's strong instinct here that leads us forward, but there's also the sense of working out where we are within the world, where we are within our pack of, friends, family, where we are within our pack with divinity and just ourselves. And this is a time where we start to state our power, to see our truth in a much more authentic way. And that's also where the holistic self comes forward, a much more authentic healing power that guides us. And it leads us to the chariot. And during this time, we are the chariot. We are the charioteer. We are this force, this power charging forward that is so easily overlooked. There's this focus to our love. There's this focus to our understanding that starts to open up the door. We start to see ourselves in a different light. We start to move forward with a new sense of power, purpose, dedication, understanding. And that's a game changer, right? This is a time where people have underestimated us, absolutely. But this is a time where we ourselves are seeing the fierceness, the ferocity, the power within our souls, within our understanding. And it leads us to looking at what to fight for and what to let go. It leads us to the Seven of Wands. It's like, this is what I fight for. This is my truth. This is what I stand for. And the rest, I can't keep fighting because it will just drain me. I mean, this is what we're saying to ourselves. We're looking at everything that we have to do, and we have to kind of boil it down to bite-sized pieces and say, I will do task A, B, and C, and that's it. That's what I can handle today. And all the time, we kind of give ourselves more than we can chew because it's like, oh, I'm really going to get it done. I'm really going to get focused. But we have to know ourselves. We have to know our limits, and we have to know what it is that we truly want. And so here, these are the battles that we fight. These are the people that we fight. These are the things where we sit there and we're like, oh, if only they understood. Some people will never understand and they will never like us. That's just fact. Not everybody will like us. It's a harsh fact. It's mean. It's not nice. But that's life. We don't like everybody we meet. So there we go. With the Seven of Wands, it's not seeing it as a battle. It's saying you walk in your truth and I'll walk in mine. And where you end up is where you're supposed to be. But where I end up is my sacred mission. And that's what we're embracing here. We're embracing our sacred mission. And it leads us to being the emperor, to claiming our throne, to sitting there and saying, you know what? I might not be the best person for the job, but nobody is ruling over me. I'm embracing my power, my connection, my purpose, my truth. And nobody is going to dictate my life for me. It's knowing that, yes, I failed. Yes, I've fallen. Yes, I've messed up more times than I want to remember. But it is still my life. And it is still beautiful. And I am the ruler. I am the fighter. I am the warrior. And we see your heart crowned with that. And innately, Libra, as nice and gentle and harmonious as you are still the warrior. And it moves you to embracing that leap forward, to embracing a new world, a new identity, a new way of looking at things, deeper insights, deeper understandings. It's like, this is my truth. The Fool is telling us to begin our hero's journey. And it might seem foolish, it might seem, overwhelming or silly, and people might not understand it. but that's on them. It's not on us. It is time that we move forward in this understanding, in this brilliance, in this dedication, in this truth. It's time that we open up the door. And that's what we're doing. We're opening up the door and saying, if not now, then when? If not me, then who? Why can't I go after what makes me a hero of my life? What brings forward the prosperity, the security, the bounty, the brilliance? Because you're cutting through doubts and fears. You're claiming your mind. You're claiming what you desire. The Queen of Swords does not play. Okay? She is intense. She is focused. She is a warrior queen. And this is you represented in the minor arcana. That's why you come through as a warrior. Not only, okay, because of the Emperor, but because of the Queen of Swords. You come through as somebody highly focused, highly determined, who's going after their dreams, who's cutting through the nonsense. This is also a time where your mind and your heart really, really start to connect, really have this power that leads them forward. It's the emotional understanding, which we see come through with the Chariot, but it's also the mental understanding of how do I better myself? How do I move myself forward? Where is it that I need to be? The questions that we have, the desires that we seek answers to. And it leads us to this place of strength, of determination. I mean, your heart, okay, it might only have one major arcana card in it, but it has all the rest are warriors. All the rest are sitting there and saying, queens and knights, sitting there and saying, this is what I'm fighting for. This is what I want. And you're fighting for this sense of understanding. You're claiming this truth, this dedication, this power, this insight, this force. And it leads you to embracing your strength. And strength, this isn't the strength of I can lift, X amount of pounds type of strength. Or I'm so smart, everybody's going to know it type of strength. This is the strength that comes from the heart. This is the strength of compassion. This is the strength of love. This is the strength of harmony of self. This is the strength of dedication. This is the strength of insight. This is the strength that comes through being authentically who it is that we need to be. And this is the strength that our world poo-poos. It sits there and it says, oh, that's not really being strong. But it is. To withstand hardship and pain and disappointment and still be a nice person takes tremendous strength of character. If it was easy, we'd have more nice people in this world. To be strong, to be dedicated, to be powerful, that is what you're embracing. And it moves you to the Knight of Cups. It moves you to being a warrior of your heart and your soul. It moves you to sitting there and saying, this is what I want for my life. This is where I'm headed. This is what I'm going after. There is nothing and there is no one who is going to hold me back. And so you become this slow, steady, honest, methodical warrior of your emotional truth, of what your heart desires, of what you need to be, of who you want to be, of opening up the door. And it moves you to the Queen of Fire. Passion, dedication, truth, just the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. There's the logic to it, right? There's also the sense of being the queen of the breath, of the body, being conscious of being within your body, of being that soul, of being that power, of looking at your body and saying, what's hurting me, okay? What's overwhelming me? Where's my anxiety coming from? Where's my pain coming from? Why? And it's finding answers. And they might not be the mainstream answers, but they're the answers that start to give you relief, start to give you empowerment, start to move you forward. And it brings you then to the strength of saying, why do I get out of bed in the morning? What is it that I fight for within my life? What is it that lights that fire of my existence and says, this is me? Because that's what you're rooted in here. You have the tenacity, you have the dedication, you have this force to you, you have this sense of really embracing what you love and saying, I'm fighting for this. This is my heart. This is my soul. This is me. It doesn't matter how many people mock you. It doesn't matter if they don't understand. Then there comes this fierceness. It's this strength of character, this strength of dedication to say, this is why I do what I do. This is who I am. You're not afraid to roll up your sleeves. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're not afraid to jump all in. And it leads you in the public arena to changing your mind and changing your whole entire life. Looking at things and saying, all right, it's great that I'm still here, right? That I've made it this far. But we have a tendency to look at all the muck and the mire we've been through, the pains, the hurts, the disappointments, the angers, the upset. They define us. And they define us too well for too long. We don't see the Two of Cups standing. We don't see the unity, the healing, beautiful love, the empowerment that is within us, that is around us. Now we start to see it. And it brings us to the Page of Pentacles. It brings us to being a student. And that's why this time, especially in the public arena, it teaches us a lot. Now, in the public arena, we would rather be, kings and queens, right? Rulers than students. But being a student in the waking world is astoundingly powerful. Asking questions, diving deeper, seeing things more openly, more honestly, more truly, more succinctly for yourself. That is power, that is abundance, that is strength, that is brilliance. And that opens up the door to something new. That moves you forward in a way that you hadn't realized. And so here, with the Page of Pentacles, you are becoming a student of that prosperity. You're becoming a student of that abundance. You're looking at things for that open honesty of self, that power of expression, that brilliance of truth. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize that I was missing out on this. I didn't realize that you could walk that way. I didn't realize that that could be a career. I didn't realize that you could do that. And then all of a sudden, as the doors open, you start seeing yourself gathering up your information and moving forward. Moving forward in a way that, yes, is emotionally testing, of course, but also empowering, emboldening. You're sitting there and you're like, this is truth. This is what I've been working for. This is what I'm going after. And you're on this adventure in the waking world. It's like you're on this adventure of gathering knowledge and claiming your truth and sitting there and really owning what you know. And it moves you to a new place, to a new way of being, a new way of looking at yourself. And it brings you this sense of love, of harmony, of healing. This is looking at the hurts and the pains and the disappointments that are such a part of our lives and saying, it's being washed away. It's not that it's gone forever, but we're learning new coping mechanisms. We're looking at things, and instead of blaming ourselves for not being perfect or for not knowing everything, it's like, okay, I see it. I see that this was hard, and I see that I messed up, and I see that, all this stuff. But hindsight is 20/20. And I stand in the strength of who I am now, of where I am headed, of what I desire. And it's opening up my world to me. It's bringing me a greater truth. And this can bring tears. This can bring heightened sensitivity. This can bring a sense of kind of feeling out of the flow of things, of normal people. But this is your truth. This is your healing coming forward. And this might make you, kind of take a step back, very much like the Virgo energy of this moon is represented by the Hermit in the major arcana, right? So you might step into the Hermit role, into the sense of really looking at what you desire, of where you need to be, of opening up those doors, of gaining that understanding and moving to that healing truth. But you're going to see so much washed away that were unbelievable pains before, that were so hard and so overwhelming to get through. And now you find yourself standing in a place that's more you than you at times might feel comfortable with. It's like, oh, this is what I was born for. This is why I'm here. This is what I'm going after. And it opens up your eyes in an extraordinary way. And it comes through a healing. So do be prepared in the waking world, in the public arena, to be a little bit more sensitive, but also to be making connections that you never made before. And you might be a little bit mad at yourself here, Libra, that it's like, why didn't I see that before? Why didn't I look at it that way? It wasn't time yet. Don't beat yourself up. Everything comes in divine timing. It would be nicer if it came in our timing, but we'd mess it up. We would. How will Libra be affected by the Virgo 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the Virgo 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the Virgo 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. How will Virgo be affected by the February 2021 full moon? How will Libra, there we go, be affected by the 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the February 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Fantastic. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see here. We have resilience, abundance, and the unexpected. This is like your fighting moon. This is where you sit there and you're really looking at what's important, what you desire, what you're going after, and it's like that's your focus during this time. Yeah. The path that you are on. The energy is gaining momentum. It's time to release negative energy. You have Scorpio, you have the Scorpio full moon, and you have the Scorpio new moon here. Hard work through your fears. Okay? So you're working through your fears. A fiery climax approaches with the full moon in Aries. And then you have the full moon in Libra, which says a win-win outcome is forecast. So you have you coming through with this balance, this win-win guiding you forward. It leads you here. Resilience. You have carried so much for so long. And I always see this as our life trait that we carry on our back. We carry our hopes and our dreams, and at times we never plant them. We just are always carrying it. And it brings us to this place. It's brought us to this place in our lives where it's like, what am I fighting for? Why haven't I planted my dreams? Or what is it that I need to nurture to really bring those dreams to the fruition? I have been so resilient for so long. Now it is time to let myself shine, to let myself flourish, to move forward with this ferocity of spirit and soul and love and self. And it brings you then to this place of abundance, which is part of your chakra energy, part of your root energy during this time. This place of abundance as you claim your throne, as you have this fiery passion, as you're determined, as you're focused, as you're really, really looking at things and saying, what is my abundance? What is my truth? What do I desire? The unexpected starts to become part of your life because you're going on this wild and crazy journey. You're embracing this fool's errand where people sit there and say, what do you mean you're doing this? Or what do you mean this is a good idea? Or how do you think you're ever going to? And you're sitting there and you're saying, but this is me. This is what I need to do to move myself forward. The unexpected becomes a part of you during this time. And it doesn't mean that you kind of run away from your responsibilities, join the circus, do anything crazy. It means that you're looking at things and you're starting to put a shift on what it is that you value the most. You're starting to embrace these paths that you never thought could be yours. You're starting to move forward in a way where you're finding your voice and you're claiming your truth, and it brings you to a new path. And it brings you to this path. And it takes strength and dedication and courage, but you are embracing with the Queen of Swords. You're embracing this truth, this passion, this fire, this brilliance. And it leads you in a direction you hadn't expected. And it moves you here to the energy gaining momentum of protecting your heart and fighting for what it is that you want and looking at what it is that you love and saying, this is important. This is as important as anything else. My heart, my soul, my connection, myself. And it leads us then to knowing that it's time to release the negative energy as we embrace the fires of our passion, as we sit there and say, this is what I want for my life. This is what I'm going after. This is what I desire. And as we do so, as we release the negativity, we work through our fears that have held us back, that have kept us in a place of looking at the pain and the disappointment and the hardships and the losses instead of the wins. And so here we work through our pain as we become a student of our prosperity, of the seeds that can be planted. What type of garden do we plant within ourselves? Is it a garden of prosperity, of abundance, of nourishment, or is it a garden of poison? Is it a garden where, a part of the garden bed is just completely overrun with weeds, and the other part is perfect? What is our garden looking like? What are we planting for ourselves? How are we nourishing it? I like the garden analogy. I think it works very nicely to put things in order. Because a lot of times we sit there and we think, oh, well, everything's great. I'm planting great things for myself. But if we step back and we're really, really honest, and we see what part of our lives are kind of slipping through the cracks of our fingers and what parts aren't, it becomes more truthful. It becomes more purposeful. And so here we work through the fears. And as we work through the fears, a fiery climax approaches, a fiery understanding of the way that we're moving forward and the place that we want to be and the desires that we have. They guide us in a way that we hadn't expected. And it brings us to a win-win outcome being forecast. It brings us to this healing coming forward and it focusing just on us, Libra, just on what we desire, what we want, what we need. It brings us together in this balance, in this understanding, in this truth. And it moves you to your subconscious message. Your subconscious Luna message is blossoming. You're blossoming into the person that you've always wanted to be. You're blossoming into your truth, into your abundance, into your understanding. And it brings you then deeper in your Luna message to your hard work paying off, to everything that you've dedicated yourself to and dedicated yourself for paying off. It leads you to your subconscious chakra message, which is divine wisdom, the soul star chakra coming through once again, this time gracing you with wisdom and insight and understandings that you hadn't had before. And it brings you then to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Tower. Change. Being rocked to your core. Subconsciously, things have happened that have shaken up your whole entire world. And you're looking at it, and it's like, oh wow. Oh wow, this is my way forward. Oh wow, this is not where I thought I would ever be. And everything has changed. But this is my power. This is my truth. This is my insights. These are my understandings. And it opens up the world. Because it's flung you so far out of your comfort zone that you can't even see it anymore. The Tower has something falling apart so that something new can grow. And it has us falling from who we once were to be able to be reborn. And the way we usually look at these changes is we go after them with strength and with force. But maybe we just step back and see with love and see with understanding who we are and what we desire and what we need and what would help us build ourselves to the place of security that we want. The Tower is intense, but the power around you as you're shaken out of your comfort zone and as you become so much more than you expected is exquisite. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in the resilience of our abundance, in the resilience to hold on to our dreams, to carry our life purpose on our backs, and to move forward towards the abundance that is just waiting to become an everyday part of our lives. It brings us into balance, it brings us into understanding, and it brings us to a win that we hadn't expected. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra, and may you have a blessed moon.